Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I appreciate the opportunity to come today and tell you a little bit about the New Orleans Children's Chorus. Some of you may not know, and others do, that we've had a long-lasting relationship with Grace Church. From 1987 to 2005, we had 5 different choirs rehearsing here 2 days a week. And then Hurricane Katrina happened. And obviously the church was in no condition to have rehearsals, like my house and many other people, so we had to move elsewhere. And then, strangely enough, it was another hurricane that brought us back here. After Hurricane Ida, the church where we had been rehearsing had a lot of damage and could not host us any longer. And so I was so grateful that Grace Lutheran Church took us in one more time, not only to have our rehearsals in the fellowship hall downstairs and the large room upstairs, but they have even rented some office space to us upstairs, that we are usually in that office, my assistant and I, a couple of days a week. And from that space, we run the organization. Now, the New Orleans Children's Chorus is a nonprofit organization. Our mission is that we are dedicated to the development of artistry in every child. We are not an organization for the most talented children musically. We are an organization for any child who wants to sing. We have 3 choirs for children ages 5 through 18. Obviously, we have to divide those in different age groups, but all of our directors are teachers and have taught and do teach in schools, so we're all very qualified for that, and we do structure a program that is developmentally sound. They learn what they can learn at the time, the things that are most appropriate for them. Now, for 38 years, I was the artistic and executive director of the New Orleans Children's Chorus. And 3 years ago, I stepped away from directing the choirs, feeling that we needed some younger energy to take the chorus forward. I still do work with the chorus quite a bit. I do a lot of administrative and financial work. Not my favorite thing, but as you know, a necessary evil for anything good that we have to do. And I run the Crescent City Choral Festival, and I conduct that. We're in our 26th year. We have youth choirs from all over the country who come, and we put on a free concert every year with hundreds of young singers. That's quite remarkable. So I hope maybe I can let you all know about that this year, and you might want to come and join us for that. And I also direct our alumni chorus, which is not a regular thing, because all those alums now have jobs and children, and it's a little bit harder to get them together. But we do that every now and then. We'll have them come and sing. So our organization is a performance-based music education organization. We don't talk to them about music. We teach them through the repertoire that we are having them sing. And they learn all kinds of things. They learn how to read music. They learn vocal technique, they learn how to breathe for singing. They sing in many different types of music, in many different languages. They learn teamwork in a non-competitive way, which I think is so important. They have the support, those who are less confident have the feeling of support of other people singing with them. They develop poise in performing in front of others. They learn how to handle themselves when we take them other places to sing. And most importantly, they make friendships with kids that they might never have met. We have children from public, private, religious schools, home schools. We have children of every economic station. We have a modest tuition, but we never turn down a child whose family cannot afford that. And we never turn down a child for lack of apparent musical talent, because we all know that talent is there in every child, and our job is to bring it out. So we are really open to everyone. And our mission is not to find, as I said, the most musically talented. We do have very successful people who have been in our program. I have been to the Metropolitan Opera in New York to hear the performance of one of our alums in La Boheme. I have been to 2 Broadway musicals in New York to hear performances of 2 of our singers. We have voice professors at universities who sang with us for a long time. We have church choir directors around the city and beyond. We have choir directors, but we also have doctors, lawyers, insurance salesmen, teachers, nurses. And our goal is not to train musicians for a life of music as a professional. We want to train them for a good life. And at our 35th anniversary some years ago, I was surprised when so many of the singers talked to me about what they learned in chorus and how it helped them with their professions. I had never really thought about that. And they said that I held them to a high standard and I didn't let them be lazy or get away with anything. And that's true. It was loving discipline, but you know, children can learn anything that you can teach them. And they're only limited by what you think they can learn. And so I did challenge them, and it's amazing to me that they remember that as they go on with their lives. And they said it helped them, you know, to be good employees and to have a good career. And we had our spring concert yesterday, and I saw several of our alums, some of whom have children in the choir now, which is a daunting thing for me to think about. But whenever I see them, they tell me how much they love the chorus. They say it was one of the most formative and important things in their childhood. They say that they have wonderful memories of places we sang and things that we did. And so that makes it all worthwhile for me. I've always known that we were not just training children, we were training people who would carry music one way or the other into their lives. And we also trained parents. I have one story that I love to tell about a father who had 3 daughters. He was very athletic, into sports, and he had these 3 daughters who liked to sing. And he told me, he said, I used to go to your concerts and think, oh, please let them sing something that I've heard of before. And after his children had been in the choir for several years, he said, I would go thinking, oh, I hope they have something new. And so we feel like that we have an effect on the parents as well. I made some notes for myself because I knew I could go on forever about the chorus, and so I'm going to try to stay to what I have talked about here. Oh, one other person I wanted to mention when I said that our alums are everywhere. Our new council person for this area is one of my New Orleans Children's Chorus alums. And I was very surprised but happy to see that she ran for and was elected for council. And so now I have someone that I can go to very easily with any concerns. New Orleans Children's Chorus gives kids a chance to work together. They learn so much. They make these friends. The friendships, I think, are probably the most important. The music is, of course, so important. You know, everybody has heard about the studies that say children do better in math and science if they have studied music, if they have sung or played an instrument. And of course, that's true. Music uses both sides of the brain. But that's not the reason that I love music. I think it enriches the lives of children. I think it gives them so many things that make their life better. And so that is why my life's work has been with the New Orleans Children's Chorus. I have taught everything from elementary through high school. I have taught at UNO and Loyola. I have been the assistant director of the symphony chorus. Nothing has meant as much to me as this organization because these kids choose to be there. And they continue to come year after year. And at our concert yesterday, one of the directors asked how many kids had been in our 5-year-old program and how many had gone to the next choir and how many had gone to the top choir. And there were so many that start as little tiny kids and sing with us through high school. So I want to thank you and your community for being so welcoming to us, to taking us back at a time when our building was being sold, we had no office space and nowhere to go, and for always making us feel very much at home here. We try to keep a low profile and not disturb anybody upstairs in that corner, but we are grateful all the time to be here. So thank you very much.